Hi, everybody. This is a little hybrid video. Um, Technically, it's part tank, part spar. So here I am filling the left tank full of water. Yep, that's right. It's finally time to leak test. It's been a week since I put the last pieces of or layers of tank sealant on. So I got those nice handy dandy. Those are 4-gallon buckets, which I just brought over to the plane wash and use the hose to sprinkle it up, fill it up. So there were only 2 leaks, and there weren't actual leaks. So hold on, that doesn't sound right. So there's no actual leaks. All the rivets are sound, proving that yes, I used just the right amount of tank sealer. So the only places that there were leaks, one was from the gas cap. Now normally when people do this leak testing, they put the gas cap on and then they seal it up with tape, because the gas cap, while does hold in fuel, isn't really meant to be, leak proof. So, but the good news is that the cap fits so well that while there technically, yes, was a leak, over the course of about 20 hours, I would say it probably lost maybe half a cup going out of the gas cap. So that's not bad. And the other leak was actual fuel vent. As I'm filling the thing up, I'm looking on the ground, and I see this huge puddle. I'm like, damn it. I knew it. I just knew it. But then I walked over, and it's the vent line, because, of course, I filled it up past the vent line tube. And so the vent line just starts spouting out. Now, I don't have any plugs, female plugs for that type of cap. So I just use silicone tape. And that worked pretty well. And, of course, now there's a couple of plugs that Van supplies in their kit. I use those to plug the send line and the return line and the inboard rib, so that worked well. And then once all those were screwed in and everything was in place, and of course the fuel drain. Forgot about that. So the fuel drain is in place. I haven't Loctited it in, I just put it in place for the leak testing, but it worked perfectly fine. Even without Loctite, it didn't leak one drop. So I left it there overnight, and then emptied it out the next morning, and everything was good. So there will be more steps for the tank soon. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and seal up that tank probably very soon, because I just want it to be done. And yes, I know, so I've got a whole new quart of sealer, and it only lasts for a certain amount of time. I understand that, but I just really don't want to go back to working with ribs. It's not the sealant. I like the sealant. It's working with those damn ribs. It's just a pain in the butt. The minutia of the deburring. Ugh. Anyway, let's skip past that. So now my friend Ted and I have moved on back to the Spar. Now, if you look, you can see the rivet plates. Damn it, why do I keep calling it that? The nut plates on both flanges, especially the one that's facing, that's closer to the camera, and how they've been countersunk. So, let me move that out of the way. So one of what you do is, to fit the nut plate in place, I Cleco in one side, one of the number 40s, and then I take one of the number 8 screws, and I actually put it through the hole, the number 19 drilled hole, into the nut plate to make sure that's square. And then I put the 426 83-3.5 through the other rivet hole, and then rivet that one in place. Then I remove the Cleco from the other side, put a rivet in, rivet that one in place, and then remove the screw, and voila. And then rinse, wash, and repeat over and over and over. Once all of those are done, then you go back and you countersink the actual hole itself. So the hole for the screw, Van gives you directions, because this isn't the thickest metal. It's only, those flanges are only 0.065. They're 65 thousandths thick. So you don't want to over countersink. And I think they give you, like, the inner diameter can be 5.4 millimeters, and the outer diameter of the countersunk hole can be 9.6, I think. Because it will leave, you know, it's got a bezel on it, a bevel. So it's got two different widths to measure. But the easiest thing to do was Van sends a nice trim package of different thicknesses of aluminum along with a wing kit. Thank you, Vans. And one of them just happens to be the same thickness as the wing skins, which is 32 thousandths. So I cut a piece, deburred the edges, drilled the number 19 hole, and dimpled it, and made a fake piece of wing skin, which I use to then go through after I've countersunk with a number 8 screw, and then test the rivet plate. Damn it. The nut plate. Dumb ass nut plate. Anyway, so that's what we're doing here. It's just attaching nut plates, and like I said, I think there's like 60 of them just for the fuel tank. They're not all the same ones. You also have a couple of those ones we've used before, where it's not rivet, screw, rivet, it's rivet, rivet, screw. So anyway, we'll detail a little bit more of that in the next video, so bye.